A Highland
I
Song.
must have climbed the hill behind the house 100 times.
I'm sorry if the music's bagpipes, I'm out. Looks stunning though. I love this kind of art style. So many games just using art style like this, which is cool.
Another again. And after all that, then that's the sea. And I've never been there.
A Highland Song is a narrative adventure game set in the wilds of the Scottish Highlands. You play as Moira McKinnon, a teenager on her way to the sea for the first time. But to get there, you're going to have to find your way through the wild mountains and the valleys. You'll have to survive the weather, and you'll learn a bit about the stories and the history of the Highlands on the way.
I love it. It looks pretty.
Game studio based in the UK.
Thanks, Doug, mate. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. It's Tribeca. We're putting on a show, on a suit. Well, not a suit, but...
Our main focus is on games that tell really strong stories.
Yeah, this looks kind of cool as well.
This game is probably 80 Days, an adaptation of Jules Verne's...
There's a lot that I'm not going to know in this showcase.
The hook of 80 Days is that you can go around the world any way you like. The way that Highland Song works is extremely similar to 80 Days. You start...
Oh, so they're referencing previous stuff. Okay, that's cool.
You can choose all sorts of different routes through the Highlands.
Yeah, I love The Expanse. Brilliant sci-fi show.
It also ends...
And Drummer's a cool character, so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
The lighthouse where you're...
And I mean, I know we're going to see it here, so it was a safe bet, but...
Finding the right
yeah, I think that's going to be pretty cool.
For a game like A Highland Song can be really difficult. Gameplay is usually built around loops and patterns, but good narratives aren't made out of loops. We want to make sure that the character isn't doing anything just for the sake of gameplay, but
interesting.
What the character's doing has to make sense within the narrative.
I agree with that.
The reason that we've essentially
looks very good.
Platforming game is that it just makes sense for the character within this scenario to be jumping and scrambling over rocks. And it even has a rhythm action mechanic.
No.
So in many ways, it's the most gamey game that we've ever created.
Not rhythm. I'm not good with rhythm.
In A Highland Song are quite realistic. She has a limited amount of time that she can climb. She gets hurt if she falls too far. She can rest to recover her strength. She gets affected by weather and affected by nighttime and affected by cold. A lot of our mechanics are built around the tension between knowing where you are and being lost. We have a map mechanic, which is all about that. It's about finding little pockets of knowledge, learning the names of peaks and understanding the history of the peaks to help you find your way through this world. Definitely
an adventuring kind of game.
At Inkle, we've always loved hand-drawn 2D illustration. We love
it's a nice illustration style.
For characters. Even when we made 3D games, we still had 2D characters because we loved the overall effect.
Okay, so far there's no bagpipes, so I'm kind of happy.
I grew up in Scotland. When I was a teenager, I went up into the Scottish Highlands with 3 friends and we got lost and we had to stumble through rivers and bogs.
Yeah, I bet that happens
really
a lot.
Quite a chilling, scary experience. My parents are art historians and there was always one painting in particular that they had that I used to love as a child. It had a little ruined castle by a loch and these Scots pine trees.
You can see that shown in the game style, that just that one art piece. There's obviously a lot of inspiration from it, which is cool.
The aesthetic was a way to capture that. The more modern take on that is the digital paintings of concept artists such as Paul Scott Canavan, who we worked with on this project. And he came up with this really beautiful way of hand painting rocks and trees and grass and then assembling them as a huge collage, but then all built up so that the overall effect is of a painting coming to life.
When people play A Highland Song, I really want them to come away with a strong sense of the place.
Have I heard of Heaven's Fall? I don't think I have.
There's tension in that place between being full of story and history, and the marks left behind by
I love that it's got that darker, kind of wetter vibe that the Highlands has. It's not bright sunshine burning through the clouds and looking amazing. It feels much more weathered and earthy.
Conceived of the game, I tried to forget everything about what games we'd made as a studio before, what games are out there, and I just tried to imagine, what do I want on my Switch for me to play right now? And
so it's on Switch then?
Pretty much A Highland Song, as the way it looks and feels, popped into my head, and I can't be prouder of what we've created.